I'm going to start, because I don't have Raphael, so I'm going to start with Caleb, then Xavier, then Zane, then Silas. If I get Raphael, I'll play his another time. I'm excited. I'm also scared. But mostly excited. Speaking of Raphael.
It's time to change the water for the little red fish again.
Pressed. The sky is a dull gray. A plastic bag rustles in the wind and dances alone through an empty, abandoned building. Outside it is an undeveloped patch of land. I hold my camera. I'm taking pictures of the bloodstains on the ground. Several of my colleagues from the LCBI are crouching down next to me. They're collecting samples for analysis. In the distance, a male colleague crosses the police line. He waves a document around as he runs towards me.
Here's the preliminary autopsy report. We ruled out the possibility of a wild animal attack and confirmed the perpetrator was a predator.
Oh, no. I take the document and begin reading through its contents one page at a time. Another predator. That's the 5th case this month. The onset of a headache occurs before I even realize it. Ooh, girl, we got headaches. The predators are a serious threat to the city. These mutated humans, when in a frenzied state, become extremely aggressive. Their physical condition, speed, and strength far surpass those of normal humans. They really are monsters. The boy is a monster! Has the victim's identity been confirmed?
He's from the security center. Unfortunately for us, he held a high position, so his personal info is classified.
Okay.
Our colleagues already submitted an investigation approval request to our superiors, but it'll take a while for the application to be processed.
Check the nearby residential area for the victim's movements and collect surveillance footage from around the building. Review dash cam recordings from vehicles in the vicinity, too. Aside from his personal information, we can investigate other things.
This is an active crime scene. You can't enter. I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't realize it was you. Please.
The commotion behind me makes me turn. A tall, familiar figure stands beyond the police tape. He's putting away his credentials. Caleb? What's he doing here? Caleb? Thanks for the follow. Caleb, wearing a uniform and carrying a file folder, ducks under the police tape that other people lift for him. The colleagues around me recognize him. Lowering their heads to focus on their tasks, they stop talking.
I heard there was another predator attack. I was in the area, so I thought I'd check in and see how everyone's doing.
Mr. Councilman, I thought you were swamped with work, but you have the time to see us as we conduct our investigation. As soon as the words leave my mouth, a colleague nudges my arm and shoots me a warning glance. Their eyes scream at me to watch my tongue.
No.
The victim was a government official. It's a sensitive case. In addition, the predators have been a constant threat to our city's safety for quite some time. The government has always treated this issue with the utmost care. Let me ask a question, Enforcer.
Yeah.
Can I get an estimate of how long it will take for the LCBI to solve this case?
I don't know. I raise my camera once more and try to find the perfect angle for documenting the crime scene. We're doing our best to move as quickly as possible. Is there a timeline the government is expecting us to meet?
I'm wondering when a certain individual whose life has been nothing but this investigation will finally return home. I have a few more questions. Would you mind stepping aside so we can talk privately?
I shoot a glare at Caleb before giving my camera to another colleague. My colleagues sigh quietly to show their sympathy. Under their watchful eyes, I remove my gloves and follow Caleb into the abandoned building. Caleb and I grew up together. As homeless kids in the Southern District, we wandered the streets and shared our hard-earned loaves of bread. We narrowly escaped death at the hands of the predators countless times. But as we grew up, our paths diverged. He became the councilman of the city, while I became an enforcer at the Linkon Bureau of Investigation, or LCBI. Our different career paths often put us at odds, professionally speaking. To avoid any unnecessary trouble, we agreed to maintain a professional distance in public, but behind that facade, we have a close bond. Aww.
We haven't seen each other in ages. And this is how you greet me?
I'm working. You're interfering with an official investigation right now. Consider yourself lucky I haven't asked for your removal. Besides, how did you even know I was here?
I have my ways of finding out the things I want to know.
Stalker! It's okay, because he's cute. I'm kidding, don't take that seriously. Will filing a report about the councilman abusing his power do anything?
You might find yourself implicated. After all, you're my closest confidant.
I steal a glance at my colleagues outside the building. Then I give Caleb's hand a quick, reproachful pinch. Didn't we agree to act like strangers at work? Why are you breaking the rules again? Only then does Caleb hand me the file he's holding. Puzzled, I break the seal and pull out a report. It contains the victim's personal information and a detailed record of his recent movements.
The victim often visited a certain club.
Caleb?
It's possible the attack wasn't random. As you can see, I go out of my way to bring you crucial information. And you still keep me at arm's length.
We're in public. Babe! Caleb grabs the file and pretends to take it back, but I tighten my grip and refuse to let go. Boop. Did you I'm touching it? I'm holding it. Suddenly, he releases his grip on the file, grasps my arm, and pulls me toward him. His lips are near my ear. We at work!
You're awfully good at pretending we're not close. You're coming home for dinner tonight, right? Say yes, and I'll play along.
I slightly lift the file folder and wave goodbye. I turn to leave. I'll be working late on the case tonight, so I can't.
Really? Awesome. I heard about this new place that just opened.
You silly goose. I quickly turn around and use the file folder to cover Caleb's mouth. I push him behind the concrete pillar. Caleb, you... Fine, I'll have dinner with you. Happy? I think he is, yes. I think that would make him very happy. The LCBI immediately dispatched a team to investigate the club the victim frequented. To our surprise, the club turned out to be a massive black market. It sold information about the predators. Some rumors claimed the club was connected to a predator of the highest rank. Using his status, he maintained control over this diverse and chaotic underground world. I put down the investigation report. My mind is already racing. Was the victim killed because he learned too much about the predators during his investigation? The predators must be scared about being exposed, so they eliminated the threat. As I look up, I see the clock on the wall. It's already late.
You're still here. You must be exhausted with how you stay up late every night for this case.
Don't talk to me, you're in danger. Lost in thought, I barely acknowledge the male colleague who approaching me. I nod in response and gather my things. Men should not speak to me. I grab my bag and head for the stairs, but he follows me. He talks incessantly about what he did today. Oh no, not the rain. When we reached the ground floor, I noticed the raindrops beyond the glass doors. I didn't even know when it started raining.
You've been so focused on work that you didn't notice the weather, huh?
Why is he
Did
flirting
you
with
bring
me?
an umbrella? I have one. We can walk home together.
Go away. What's the... Thank you, but that won't be necessary. I quicken my pace and try to find shelter under the building's eaves. Even though I said no, my colleague is determined. He opens his umbrella.
You always go home by yourself.
Excuse me.
You don't need to make excuses about being single.
What?
I'll have you know I'm an eligible bachelor.
The hell? What is... Get away from me!
You just don't know me well enough. Why don't we take this opportunity to...
No need. I have no intention of getting to know you better.
Look how heavy the rain is. Let me walk you home. It'll be more
Punch him in the throat. Good lord.
Who said she doesn't have an umbrella?
Thank you. Jeez. A shadow falls over me as Caleb appears. He's holding a black umbrella. Wrapping his arm around my shoulders, he stands next to me. This is so professional. A hint of a smile plays on his lips as he glances at my colleague before turning to me.
I thought the plan was for me to pick you up. Why are you already out here? It's pouring. I don't want you to catch a cold. And this is your...
My colleague's confident demeanor crumbles. He awkwardly shifts and clenches his fists.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you'd be here. I was just being a polite coworker.
You're being a pushy little hussy. He forces himself to smile and backs away with his umbrella. He waves goodbye.
I'll be going now. Good night, you two. Sorry about that.
Weak. Now that the annoying colleague is gone, I pat Caleb's arm. He raises the umbrella a little higher. I hook my arm around his and we step out into the rain together. Aww.
I said it before, didn't I? You don't need to be polite to guys like that.
If you were a second late, you could have seen me show him my manners. But why did you pick me up today? You didn't even give me a heads up.
When I saw it was raining, I decided to check in and see if you remembered to bring an umbrella. And the answer was nope.
I always
Besides,
feel like
you're either at the LCBI building or a crime scene.
Caleb is watching me.
If I didn't take the initiative, would we even see each other for 1 second?
And I have no privacy. Oh. Feeling sheepish, I tighten my grip on Caleb's arm and lean in to whisper. Well, you can see me right now.
Are you trying to sweet talk your way out of this? You'll need to do more than that.
What do I need to do? What do I need to What do I need to do? Well then, I guess I'll just walk home by myself. I reach for Caleb's umbrella and pretend to take it. Smiling, he passes the umbrella to his other hand and wraps his arm around my shoulders. Aww. The rainy night invites all-encompassing darkness. The street stretches out endlessly into the distance. Do you remember when it was raining cats and dogs in the Southern District? There were leaks in our temporary shelter, so we had to huddle under the eaves.
I've never forgotten a single thing about you. We don't have to worry about getting caught in the rain now, though.
I'm fine. I'm okay. Raindrops are falling on my head. Raindrops pitter-patter against the umbrella. Caleb's warm scent envelops me, and my heart begins to race. Oh, that's so cute. The Southern District was never peaceful. As a lawless part of the sinful metropolis, the strong preyed on the weak. Caleb and I were only kids back then. We lived from one meal to the next and never knew when we'd eat again. When the city was in a state of chaos, we were separated. Our lives had changed by the time we were reunited. We're no longer lost and alone. Finding our way back to each other feels like a stroke of luck. But what Caleb went through during our time apart remains a mystery. He has yet to talk about it. Tell me your secrets. We'll get there, I'm sure.
The councilman has recently attended a hearing about the provisions concerning the increased monitoring of predators and the protection of ordinary citizens. Afterward, the councilman refused to answer any questions from reporters. Many doubt his commitment to reform. As rumors about the councilman's uncompromising stance continue to spread, no one knows for sure whether he will respond to the mounting pressure from various parties.
Me. The living room TV is tuned into evening news. This channel is known for its somewhat biased commentary on political figures. I'm curled up on the sofa with a plate of fruit. I can hear the shower being turned off from the bathroom. Towel. No, he's dressed and he walked on the screen. Caleb walks out and a towel is draped over his head as he dries his wet hair. They didn't hold back. They said you were uncompromising. There's been a flood of negative press about you lately, Caleb. You haven't ruffled the feathers of important birds, right? He walks over to the coffee table and pours a glass of water. He slightly turns his head and meets my gaze. His mouth curls into a faint smile.
I'm not sure when it comes to other people, but I might have offended the lovely lady in front of me.
Yeah, probably.
I brought her here so she could relax. Alas, my good intentions will go unappreciated today.
I stab a piece of fruit with my fork and bring it to Caleb's lips. What about now? Are you still going to sulk? Maybe a few bites will change your mind. Of what? A drop of water falls from Caleb's damp hair and lands on my wrist. He glances down and wipes it away with his thumb. I find myself pulling away. Having been together since we were kids, we've fallen into our own rhythm. It's a familiar dance of interactions. I wonder what would have happened if we weren't separated. Would we have kept our dynamic?
Why'd you do that?
Caleb seems unfazed by my movement. He withdraws his hand. I was thinking, all these negative stories about you popped up overnight. Did something happen again that I don't know about?
Well, you could always move in with me. Then you'll never miss a moment of my exciting life.
Okay. There's a hint of seriousness in Caleb's expression that catches me off guard. I can't look him in the eye. I'll do it if you're willing to take over my job. The LCBI has been hectic because of this new case.
Has there been a breakthrough?
We just got the investigation report on the club. It looks like there's a connection between this place and a predator who goes by the name Perseus. Have you heard of this person before?
Isn't this the LCBI's field of expertise? How would I know anything about the predators?
He put down his glass of water and picks up an invitation from the coffee table. It's embossed in gold. Fancy.
You seem to be busy, huh? Not a lot of free time. I received an invitation to a party. I was wondering if you'd be interested in being my +1.
Yeah, I mean, let me check my schedule, honey. Okay, hold on. As councilman, Caleb has received countless invitations for galas and parties throughout the year. On the other hand, I was never fond of these occasions. Is it another event where everyone kisses up to the councilman? Why should a low-ranking officer or enforcer like me be there?
Unfortunate.
Aw, baby. Caleb opens the invitation. He steals a glance at me before nonchalantly tilting it so I can see the host's name printed on the card. It's from the club we're investigating.
Since you're not interested, I guess I'll have to go by myself.
As Caleb starts to put the invitation to the side, I reach out. Getting on my tiptoes, I snatch it from him. I didn't say that. And going with you won't be a bad thing, right? Don't worry, I'll definitely be on time. Caleb pays no attention to my attempt to butter him up. Instead, he tussles my hair.
Now you're trying to charm me.
Yeah, is it working? Is it working? How could you say that? I meant every word. And I wanted to charm you. is bought. Perfectly arranged vibrant flowers surround an intricately carved fountain. Lush sculpted shrubs flank the sides to add to the garden's meticulous beauty. Elegantly dressed guests mingle in the garden. They pluck champagne. Pluck? Like clink? Oh no, pluck. Okay. They pluck champagne glasses and hors d'oeuvres from the trays of passing waiters. Yoink. And here I thought the councilman was too busy with government affairs. Who knew he was living in the lap of luxury?
I agree that government officials enjoy a few more perks than your average enforcer. If you like what you see, you can request a transfer next month.
Every now and then, the voice actor will just dip into like a sultry note. It's not throughout the entire conversation, just enough that's like, ooh, okay, Caleb. I told you,
Don't like extra things in your pockets? You're wearing a dress today. There are no pockets.
Like that. There are no pockets. Caleb links his arm with mine. Then he carefully lifts the hem of my dress that's close to touching the ground. Oh, that's so cute. Long tables draped in delicate white gauze are laden with an array of exquisite desserts and drinks. They invite guests to indulge themselves. I take a glass of champagne and raise it to my lips. A young man approaches us and respectfully nods at Caleb. That glitch was funny.
It's been a while since I was transferred, sir. I didn't expect to see you here.
The young man's gaze flickers between Caleb and me. I try to pull my hand away, but Caleb gently presses his palm against mine to keep it in place.
I just wanted to pay my respects. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Likewise.
As soon as he's out of hearing range, I look at Caleb and tap his arm. Did you make him think there's something between us on purpose?
What are you talking about? Or would you rather tell me what our relationship is?
Stop doing that. Caleb looks at me with a steady gaze. His words leave me speechless, and all the confusing feelings I've been trying to ignore lately rush into my heart. He takes the champagne from my hand and pours it into a nearby ice bucket. Annoyed, I purse my lips and reach for a petit four. It's just champagne. There's nothing wrong with it, right? Caleb ignores the complaint I muttered.
If you really want to define it, then we can start with those days when we struggled to survive in the Southern District. Like when we first met and were ready to beat each other up over a rotten apple. Or maybe when I shared half of my hard-earned juice with you.
What about the time I saved my money to buy you that bread you wanted? And don't forget how I protected you by wrestling a gun away from a predator when we were little. Caleb reaches out and taps my nose. I blink.
Okay. You have the best memory in all of Linkon.
I don't think
Feel
that's
free
true.
to try anything that catches your eye. Except the alcohol, of course. I need to go out and socialize for a bit.
Looking past Caleb's shoulder, I take note of the guests who spotted him. As expected, they're ready to approach him at any given moment. Like I could have one glass, maybe.
Entertain yourself for now. And if you decide to snoop around, be careful.
I let go of Caleb's arm. He lifts his champagne glass to discreetly bid me farewell. Then he turns and disappears into the crowd. Bye. He remembered that I didn't like these fancy gatherings. He didn't make me interact with everyone. I make my way to the dining area and sit down. As I nibble on some petit four, I scan my surroundings and take in everything. All the waiters emerge from the other side of the garden. My gaze is drawn to the grand castle-like structure that looms in the distance. There might be some valuable intel inside. I pop the last petit four in my mouth and get up. While no one's watching, I walk over to that building. That's not walk, that was a jog. The Great Hall is adorned with luxurious tapestries. Engaged in lively conversations, small groups of people stand here and there. No one has noticed me. I press on and venture into a seemingly endless corridor. The chatter from the Great Hall fades behind me. On either side of the corridor are rooms with their doors firmly closed.
Excuse me, are you a guest at tonight's event? I'm afraid this area is the owner's private quarters. I must ask you to head back.
Boo! I'm sorry. I made a turn and got lost. I thought this would lead me to the exit. I can feel the waiter's eyes boring holes into my back as I walk away. Not wanting to arouse any more suspicion, I quicken my pace and retreat. Returning to the Great Hall, I take a risk and glance at the waiter who caught me. To my relief, his attention seems to be elsewhere. That corridor is hiding something important. As I mull over ways to return unnoticed, a peculiar scent draws my attention. It's a specialized aerosol designed to expose predators. My body tenses. Years of working with the LCBI have made me all too familiar with this type of spray. Any predators who inhale it will be revealed within minutes. It's a substance that's been under layers and layers of government regulation for years. This isn't an accident. Heck no, it's not. The waiters usher the guests towards the exits, and chaos envelops the Great Hall. I take this chance to return to the corridor. A noise from one of the rooms catches my attention. I position myself beside the door. I reach for my gun that's concealed under my dress. Secret boom boom stick. A faint click of a turning lock catches my attention. Before I can react, a hand grabs my arm and yanks me into the room. My back is pressed against a warm chest, and a hand is clamped over my mouth. Darkness floods my vision as my eyes adjust to the dimly lit room. I jab my elbow back, but the attacker anticipates this. Their grip around me tightens.
Shh. Don't speak.
Caleb? For a split second, I freeze. Then all the fight within me disappears. I can feel Caleb's chest rising and falling against my back. His close proximity makes me aware of my racing heart.
Hurry! Find the predators, now!
Wait, are they looking for him? Then Caleb is... As the adrenaline fades, I notice the heavy breathing near my ear. Cautious, I turn my head to get a closer look. Why are you... What? No, pause. Pause, okay? Pause. I just left the party, and bro was in his suit. He was in his full suit. When the hell did he change? I'm imagining it like a play. You know how people have to run backstage and change real quick? So it's like we separate and then he runs back behind a bush or something to put on his predator outfit. Caleb, you're a predator? It comes with the chains. That's how it exposes you. It changes your outfit. I'm so sorry. I'm very tickled. The realization hits me like a bolt of lightning. The spray that's intended to expose the predators triggered his transformation. The transformation, the chains! Oh, now I'm hot. There's no time for questions. Alarms ring throughout the building, their wails drowning any chance for an explanation. Like we could easily fix this, Caleb. Where is your uniform? Just put your uniform over the chains.
Yeah, I'm the club's owner.
Jesus Christ.
That infamous predator all of you were whispering about. Are you going to arrest me now?
Can we leave first? Caleb attempts to smile. He leans against the wall. As his eyes dart around, a mix of emotions betrays his expression. I don't know where the LCBI takes the predators they captured, but it can't be a nice place. I have no idea how Caleb became a predator, but I can't just stand here and let him be killed. The thought of arresting Caleb doesn't even cross my mind. I move to support him, but he gently pushes me away.
I'm not exactly stable right now. Keep your distance.
Oh, Jesus. Footsteps come to a halt outside the door. Ignoring Caleb's protests, I grab his arm and drag him to the window on the other side of the room. I push it open. We'll be caught if we stay. Let's go. The SUV races down the road like an arrow that was shot from a bow. Driving the car, I only allow myself to breathe when the club is behind us. That's not what an SUV sounds like. I'm just putting that out there.
And here I thought you were gonna slap cuffs on me. Who knew enforcers could play favorites?
I will always play favorites. You probably know that what they do to predators better than me. How could I ever hand you over to them? I gulp. A gunk. I'm torn between the anger at his secrecy and the pain that he thought I'd actually turn him in. Don't lie to me. I want the truth and I want it now. How did you become a predator? In the back seat, Caleb leans against the door, his hand resting on it. I glance at the rearview mirror and see his expression become more somber.
After we were separated that day, one of the predators attacked me. I thought I was done for, but I survived. The catch was that I became one of them.
And I got this sick new fit. Stop it. He recounts it casually, but I can sense the weight of unspoken pain behind his words. There's a lot he's not saying. My hands tighten on the steering wheel, and a storm of emotions churn inside me. And this isn't the first time you lost control?
When I first turned, I was in a frenzy for a long time. To keep others safe, I had no choice but to isolate myself. Then I ran into a group of people one day. They weren't predators, but they took me away.
Did they make you a test subject for research on the predators? I saw cases like this during my time at the LCBI. Someone is always looking to exploit the predators.
After I became the councilman, I tried to track them down. But every lead turned into a dead end. There's one thing I do know, though. They implanted something called an activator inside me.
Okay, wait, because I already know that at some point we have to find that. And I don't know where his is. But if it's somewhere sexy, I have so many questions for these random ass people. An activator? Does it keep your frenzied state in check?
Not bad. The activator helps predators like me snap out of it when we go into a frenzy. But that state, it messes with your head. Everything from back then is a blur. I don't even remember where they put the activator. It's hazy. But I do remember bits and pieces. At some point, I fought my way out and escaped.
Having worked with the LCBI for years, I'm all too familiar with what happens when the predators lose control. When Caleb went through all of this alone, was it as easy as he's making it sound? Probably not. That aerosol for the predators, it was meant for you.
Correct. I founded the club. It was a cover at first. A way to blend in and have a legitimate identity, you know? But as the club's reputation grew, it started turning heads. Not all of them are friendly, in case you were wondering.
I wasn't. I guess you can't show up as the councilman for a while, huh? Not when the aerosol is still affecting you. You're being watched. Your home isn't safe anymore. I turn the steering wheel to the right, and the tires screech as the car lurches in another direction. Let's go somewhere else. If someone's targeting Caleb, they probably have a stakeout at his place. Going there would be walking right into their hands. The Southern District is where the predators gather. That might be the safest place for him right now. It's also where we grew up. Back to the hood, where it all began. Caleb pulls out a small device and his fingers dance across the screen. In an instant, our car, conspicuous as a prowling beast, vanishes. Okay. It melts seamlessly into the surrounding landscape. We ended up on a derelict street in the Southern District. It's a melting pot here, and the winding alleys can be used for cover. We should be safe from any pursuers for now. Cough drop. Puddles of dirty water, blah, 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 blah. Weathered concrete buildings. Slow down! Puddles of dirty water dot the cracked pavement. Weathered concrete buildings stand next to each other, their gray appearances a testament to the passage of time. These structures are relics and are amongst the oldest in the city. Continue. Caleb offers his hand. I take it. With a small hop, we move past a puddle together.
Do you miss it?
I'm sorry, I just got re-tickled by the fact that when you're activated as a predator, you just have to dress like you're getting ready to go to a club. I know that wasn't meant to be this funny or distraction. I just can't get over it. Okay. I do. And do you know what I miss the most? That little electronic bird we rescued from a dumpster when we were kids. Ooh! As we turn the corner, the sights and sounds of a bustling marketplace engulf us. I used one as my alarm clock, and every morning you grumbled about how noisy it was. You threatened to throw it away, but you never did.
You think I couldn't part with that noisy bird? I just couldn't bear to see someone in tears.
I wouldn't have minded. After all, I knew someone would be there to comfort me. Just kiss already! This street is far from ordinary. You can find daily necessities along with all manners of contraband here. Photon bombs, pulse rifles, and signal jammers for sale. We've been gone for a few years. Now look at this place. They threw caution to the wind.
All I remember was someone confusing a real gun for a fake. Then she tried to rob me.
Well, I mean, it worked. He was scared out of his wits. Look over there. They're actually selling predators like merchandise. They even have price tags.
I guess I should consider myself lucky I wasn't put up for sale back then.
No, because now you're mine. I would have tried to find you and come back to this place 1,000 times if I had to. Assuming you were sold, I'd find a way to see you again. I would have rescued you and made sure you were free. Caleb tightens his grip on my hand.
Freedom isn't everything to me. Being with you is what matters.
Oh.
After we got separated, I tried to find you.
Even if you didn't say it, I know you'd look for me. I was also trying to find you. Caleb gives me a long, meaningful look. Aww. Aww. Cute. After walking around the market all afternoon, we find ourselves in a certain spot as evening falls. As always, the streets are bathed in the familiar glow of the sunset. At the end of the street stands an abandoned watchtower, its spire partially in the way of the setting sun. What are words? Is it just me, or did this tower look much taller when we were kids? Caleb turns to look at me, then he playfully raises his hand to measure my height.
I think it's because you've gotten taller. You're practically a giant compared to back then.
I feel like that was teasing. The same can be said about you. Thanks for the random compliment. The watchtower stands as the tallest structure in this part of the Southern District. Its top floor has been abandoned for a long time. Many years ago, the elderly watchtower keeper took us in. We had a shelter within these walls and shared a small room on one of the floors. What case belly button?
When I'm gone, you two should stay here.
Okay. Where are you going? You're not going to stay with us anymore?
I'm going to a place where little ones can't go.
The streets of the Southern District were blanketed in snow that winter. Caleb and I laid that old man to rest. After he passed away, this place became our home, and our small bed was right next to the window. Back then, I could see the sky if I looked up. Sometimes I could see Caleb's figure perched on the iron frame outside, just like right now. Whenever I saw you sitting here all by yourself, I was scared. I thought you were going to leave me behind. I climbed through the window and sit next to Caleb.
Really? Where would I even go?
Oh, sexy voice is back. Maybe you head to the city across the river. Caleb raises his arm and wraps it around my shoulders as he looks at the opposite shore.
Do you remember what I told you when you gave me that necklace in this very spot?
It happened after we reunited with each other. I want you to have this necklace. If we're ever separated again for a long time, I'll be able to find you so long as you have this necklace. It doesn't matter how much you might change.
You're giving me a gift and didn't even give me a warning.
Boo. It's easy to return the favor. My wish is a simple one. I want us to have a home together. That's all I ask. Caleb raises his hand. The necklace is an apple-shaped pendant hanging from his finger. It reflects a soft, silvery light against the backdrop of the setting sun. The river splits in two. The river splits the city in two. Our side is the Southern District, that's dirty and chaotic. The other side, though, is a city of towering skyscrapers and bustling streets. It's as if the sunset prefers that place. Dang. The river under our feet sparkles in the setting sun. Just like before, we stare at the city on the opposite shore.
I promise our home will be there.
And they're just separate.
I promise our home will be there.
Aww. Even though he's talking about the city across the river, Caleb's gaze is fixated on me. It shimmers like the water's surface and reflects emotions in their depths. I appreciate the sentiment, but you can't go back to your own place. What will you do now?
I think I'll just disappear for a while. Let's see what my pursuers do.
Okay. Caleb stands up and holds out his hand to me.
Do you want to check it out?
Okay. Isn't it old and abandoned?
Maybe a kind soul stopped by and spruced it up.
I follow Caleb up the winding staircase to the top of the tower. The bare cement walls are exactly as I remember them. The old, sturdy wooden door hasn't changed either. I have a feeling a big surprise is waiting for me. Caleb just smiles and nods towards the door. He silently urges me to open it. Confused yet curious, I do just that. Oh no. So cute. Oh God. No, I can't survive. Ugh. I'm stunned. The interior has been completely transformed, and the top floor has been divided into several fully furnished rooms. Bitch. The fuck? I stop in my tracks. With widened eyes, I turn to Caleb. boy, when did you turn the watchtower into this?
You weren't the only one who missed this place.
It really feels like a home now. I approach the nearest room and reach for the doorknob. But before I can turn it, Caleb's hand covers mine. He's standing right behind me, and his face is close to my ear as he leans in.
This room isn't quite finished yet. We'll save it for another time.
Why that room ain't finished yet, Caleb? What room is that? We'll be saving for another time, Caleb. What's up with that? What's up with that room? Caleb? Why? Caleb? Caleb, why isn't that room? Caleb! I turn my head and study his expression. It's your secret base, isn't it?
Sometimes secrets are nothing more than the burdens we carry. And right now, my biggest secret is trying to figure out how to decorate this room.
Don't talk to me in my ear like that, in this proximity. Caleb's honesty is disarming. I decided to let go of my suspicions.
Why don't we do a trade? I'll show you something I know you'll like instead.
Caleb takes a step back and picks up a small tablet from a nearby cabinet. His fingers dance across the screen. A soft whirring catches my attention, and my eyes try to look for the source of the sound. Is it a bird? At the far end of the room, a hidden door slides open. Lights flicker on to reveal an arsenal of weapons. No, it's boom boom sticks! At the back, a sleek new aircraft gleams on a launch pad. It's ready to take to the skies at a moment's notice. Caleb, you've been way too busy behind my back. My fingers trace the sleek lines of a new pistol. It's the one I requested from the LCBI, but I never received it.
I think you're upset because I didn't tell you I had your dream gun. I can see the saliva dripping out of your mouth.
You like that, don't you? Didn't you say I wouldn't like this place? Or didn't you say I would like this place? I should act excited then. I wouldn't want to disappoint you. In one swift motion, I point the gun at Caleb's forehead. He doesn't even flinch. He smiles and crosses his arms. Joke's on you. I'm into that shit. I can't even scare you anymore. Lame. I toss the gun back to Caleb.
Who says I was scared? Maybe I was just playing along the whole time.
Sweetie. Sorry, that was a reaction to the chat. All right. Okay. Caleb, you're terrible. You too. You too.
How? You used to be happy every day. Those were good times.
As long as you're by my side, I can be as happy as I am now every day. Aww. Just kiss already. Caleb has moved into the watchtower, and I've temporarily relocated there as well. Ooh. The LCBI's crackdown on the club led to the arrest of several predators. They also quickly identified the true culprit behind the murder. During the day, I continue with my usual work while secretly investigating and researching ways to help the predators quickly recover from their frenzied state. At night, I return to the secret base where Caleb waits. His sudden disappearance has thrown the outside world into chaos. There are even rumors that Caleb himself might be a predator, yet Caleb remains unfazed. Can't really be fazed by the truth. Like, he'll be fine. He'll figure it out. He often spends time alone in the armory and tinkers with discarded parts. Sometimes a holographic screen shows the news while he busies himself. With an aloof air, he listens to it. We often find ourselves on the bed by the window, and my head rests on Caleb's arm. We chat quietly and gaze at the scenery outside when it's nighttime. These simple moments of companionship, in my memory, I only experienced them briefly in a distant past I can barely recall. Sometimes, I can't help but think these precious moments are like sand in an hourglass. These are the days of our lives. They'll eventually run out. When that day comes, Caleb will leave this sanctuary to face the storm outside. In that hazy state between sleep and being conscious, I hear birds chirping. Their cries drift in from somewhere beyond the edge of my fading dream. Wee sweepy baby. As the warmth beneath my fingertips becomes more pronounced, I open my eyes. Caleb's sleeping face is just centimeters away from mine. Ooh, so cute. Ah! At least I know he's breathing. I realize half of my body is draped over Caleb's chest, and my palm rests on his collarbone. Well, dang, girl! His eyelashes flutter ever so slightly with every breath he takes. As the reality of our position sinks in, I don't move in case my breath disturbs this moment. I don't think we were like this when we fell asleep last night. I slowly lift my hand and try to move away, but Caleb is fast asleep and unaware of my movements. His eyelashes are still as long as they were when we were kids. After watching him for a moment, I poke his chin. He doesn't stir. I guess he's out cold. Okay. I decide to be a little more mischievous and tickle him. I finally get a reaction. He stirs, wrapping his arm around me as he rolls over. His chin rests on top of my head. It's as if he's about to wake up. I quickly close my eyes and pretend to be asleep. A moment passes before Caleb embraces me more tightly. He strokes the back of my head.
You wake me up only to pretend you're asleep?
I didn't wake you up. It was the birds.
Birds aren't that mischievous.
Parrots are. So are corvids. I try to cover Caleb's mouth with my hand, but he just softly laughs. He props himself up on his elbow and catches my wrist.
I finally managed to get rid of that electronic bird alarm of yours. And now you've decided to wake me up every morning?
You like it. So you still have a grudge against my bird alarm? It wasn't that bad. Our faces are so close that our noses are almost touching. His breath is warm against my cheek, and in the soft morning light, I can see his fine, delicate hair. Something in the air seems to shift. I acknowledge it, but I don't think about it. Instead, I close my eyes for a moment. I can hear a heart racing, but I'm not sure if it's his or mine. Caleb traces a path down my palm, and I notice how his gaze settles on my lips. Ah! Will he move closer? It's at this moment I become keenly aware of a secret longing hidden in the depth of my heart. It took you this long? Caleb slightly lowers his head and nuzzles my cheek. Okay. Yes? I hold my breath, but he only reveals a slight smile before quickly rolling over and burying his face in the pillow.
You know, I miss that electronic bird. At least it had an off switch.
Understanding what he's implying, I blush. I turn on my side and playfully poke his back. Excuse me? Hey, that's not the point of having an electronic bird. If small animals suddenly start to make a fuss, that could mean something's off. Should we head up to the rooftop and check it out? Following the sound, we arrive at the watchtower's roof where a spacious terrace awaits. The early morning air is veiled in a thin, gossamer-like mist. At the edge of the terrace, we see a small bird's nest. Inside it are a few baby birds huddling together. They shiver despite their efforts to keep one another warm. Babies? Their mother isn't around. I crouch down and gently wrap my shawl around the edge of the nest. Once winter ends, they'll be adults. They'll leave their nest one day and fly off to new places. Do you think they'll all fly in the same direction when they leave?
Probably.
Oh. Caleb stoops down next to me.
Are you cold?
Yeah. Caleb chuckles softly and hugs me. Ah! This scene is too cute. Also, something terrible must be coming. Ah!
Even if they're separated for a long time, they'll reunite because they choose to remain by each other's side.
Then they'll never leave each other in the future?
No matter where they're headed, they'll always fly together.
This is so sickeningly cute. Help me.
After all, there will always be one bird in this world who stands out from the rest.
Tweet, tweet, motherfucker.
She's special. She'll be your one and only choice.
Did we just get married? Did we just get married on the rooftop? My eyes are looking at the baby birds in the nest, but my mind is thinking about something else. I wonder when Caleb will leave this place.
I'll have to head back soon.
Oh, there you go. During our time in the watchtower, I knew Caleb has always kept an eye on the events from the outside world. Maybe someone is secretly sending him messages through the news broadcasts, or he has other ways of staying informed. He's not the kind of bird that would make a permanent nest in a place like this. My body tenses, but I force myself to smile and appear nonchalant. A lot of people are looking for you. They must be losing their minds right now.
Everything will be resolved soon.
That could mean a lot of things. Light spills across the river and bathes the rooftop in a golden glow. Caleb and I decided to sit down and take in the view. I rest my head on the shoulder and a heaviness settles in my chest. It's time. Caleb must leave this place. I try to reassure myself that it's not too bad. After all, Caleb promised he'd always be there for me. Oh, this is setting up tragedy. I readjust to the monotony of going home and going to work. Caleb still visits me, but we don't return to the watchtower. That's the only real change. It's another late night at the office. As I pack up to go home, I find myself glancing out the window. My eyes are drawn to the streets below. Across the LCBI building and another soft glow of a street light sits a black car. It's silently parked along the curb. I make my way downstairs as usual. I pause at the entrance, but after hesitating for a moment, I decided to approach the car. Ah! I open the door. As expected, Caleb is in the back seat. He's engrossed with the data only he can understand on his tablet. You're here whenever I work late. Aren't you tired? And you're always right on time, too. Don't tell me you have an insider in the LCBI building.
Don't worry. You're my one and only insider at the LCBI. I'm just doing my part to make sure there aren't any more annoying coworkers when I'm not around.
Ever since Caleb returned to his government job, the political climate has become ruthless. A power struggle between opposing fractions is playing out behind the scenes. Factions. You're so keen on handling my affairs. What about yours? Caleb remains silent. The car engine starts, and we slowly begin to cruise through the streets at midnight.
I just wanted to see you.
You can do that whenever you want.
The people behind the aerosol attack at the club are trying to take me down. They'll stop at nothing to seize power.
I'm completely in the dark about your plans or what you're going through. Caleb, if only...
Do you want us to keep living like this?
Caleb cuts me off. As we drive, the streetlights flicker. His profile shifts between light and shadow. You already know my wish.
Our little chess game has reached the final round.
But you'll keep facing new threats because of them, right? Answer me, Caleb.
Yes.
No. Caleb reaches across the space between us. He tries to hold my hand, but I move away. No! His lips form a thin line while resignation and determination mix on his face. He tries again, and our fingers intertwine in his firm grip. Caleb is omitting a lot of information. In that case, I'll have to uncover the truth on my own. With all those weapons in Caleb's base at the watchtower, maybe there's more to it than meets the eye. Secrets! I visited almost every place, except for that room. I never opened the door to it. He knew what to say to make you not look in the room. It's been a while since I set foot in the watchtower. Everything is exactly where we left it. For a split second, I have this absurd notion that if I push open the door, Caleb will be waiting for me. I approach the room he never let me enter. I only want to see if the door is locked, but to my surprise, it opens. As I look inside, I freeze. One of the walls is covered in a wide array of screens for surveillance cameras. I recognize several of the locations on the display. The street outside the LCBI building, the office, and this blinking red dot is my current location. No wonder Caleb always knew where I was. How long has this room been here? Why is he doing all this surveillance anyway? But the thing that sends a chill down my spine is a set of heavy chains on the floor. They're next to the monitors. I pick up the chains and trace the dark red stains that speak of desperate struggle. I should have known. Caleb is a predator. It's impossible for him to not go into a frenzy. He loses all reason when he's in that state. Maybe this is where he confines himself so he doesn't hurt anyone. I take a deep breath and I try to calm my beating heart. Putting down the chains, I notice a notebook on a nearby table. I open it. The first words on the page make my breath hitch. Long time no see. The entry's date is from several years ago. This was written before I reunited with Caleb. My heart pounds in my chest as I flip to the next page.
The LCBI is always busy. She's working late every night. Another late night snack. She must really like this place.
Okay. I quickly flip through several pages.
Is she still looking for me? Or did she forget about me? Now that she's surrounded by other people. I returned to the watchtower today.
After I recover from the initial shock, complex emotions wash over me. I close the notebook and dial Caleb's number. Totally normal.
Hello?
Where are you? The streets are eerily quiet in the dead of night. I ride my motorcycle to Caleb's apartment. I run my thumb over the notebook's cover one last time before knocking on Caleb's door. I love when they walk on the screen. There are things you refuse to tell me about, so I had to find the answers myself. My unwavering gaze is fixated on Caleb. He notices my expression and sees the notebook in my hand. A resigned smile flickers across his face. Pause. I love how crazy he is. I really do. I love every iteration of it. Every single one. The fact that he saw his creepy notebook in her hand and was like, oh yeah. He loves her so much and he knows the kind of shit she does.
Come in. I thought we agreed that room was off limits.
Changed my mind.
I told you that secrets are nothing but burdens on the heart.
You live. This involves both of us. What gives you the right to keep me in the dark? I hold up the notebook. If you knew where I was all this time, why didn't you see me sooner?
Well, you saw everything. The surveillance equipment, the chains. I'm a predator now, too. Back then, I couldn't trust myself not to hurt you.
So you made that choice for both of us? We stand where we are, and neither is willing to break the stalemate. Then, Caleb takes a step towards me.
Both of us know this city has no safe haven for the predators. To be with you again, I need to secure an unassailable identity. My plan is almost done, but I need to be in the crosshairs. I can't risk dragging you into it. That's why I needed to disappear for a while.
Even if they're separated for a long time, they'll reunite because they choose to remain by each other's side. No matter where they're headed, they'll always fly together. Who should I believe? The Caleb who made those promises, or the Caleb standing in front of me? Thank you for the follow!
Pipsqueak.
I'm sorry, I'm not used to being identified in any manner. I take a step back, but Caleb takes my hand.
Everything you saw was my doing. But I have to ask. Will you leave me?
No, I'm crazy too. Is my answer that important to you?
It means everything to me.
Then stop doing things that will drive me away. Promise me that you'll stay safe.
I promise I'll stay safe.
I gently wrap my arms around Caleb. Caleb, it's not that I'm any good at waiting. I trust your judgment. So don't keep me waiting too long. That's actually very valid for me as well. I don't like waiting. I get so annoyed, impatient. Since that night, Caleb said goodbye to me. His car never appeared outside the LCPI building again. On those rare nights when I worked overtime, I found myself waiting in vain for that person who would pick me up. The LCPI is busy as ever. We developed new tracking gadgets that can deter the predators. It leads to a decrease in cases. Caleb always accomplished what he set out to do. I thought if I trusted him and waited, he'd return. Then, a news report shakes all of Linkon. The long-absent councilman is confirmed to be a highly dangerous predator, and he's already been assassinated.
Bullshit!
Rumors circulate through every shadowy corner of the city, and yet I have no way of contacting the person in the eye of the storm. But I won't let him disappear from my life. A fine layer of dust covers the door to Caleb's apartment. No one has been to this place in quite some time. I know the passcode. When I open the door, I'm greeted by silence and a floor with items strewn about. As I step into the room, my foot brushes against the bullet casing. Papers are on the sofa and floor. A bullet is lodged in the wall, and the once pristine white surface is marred with bloodstains. It can't be. Caleb is a predator. He wouldn't go down that easily. He must be at the watchtower. If Caleb is injured or in a frenzy, he'd go there. You looking for a frenzy man? Oh, God! Okay. I race to the watchtower. Standing before the door, I grip the handle and push it open without hesitation. The rattling of chains echoes throughout the room. In front of the screens, Caleb is immobilized by several chains. He slowly raises his head. The muzzle gleams with a silvery sheen on the screen's dim light. I haven't seen Caleb's eyes this sharp before. He's injured, and despite the predators having extraordinary healing capabilities, traces of blood still stain his arm. That frankly would piss me off. Like, who got you that good? I want to kill him, frankly.
You figured out what happened, didn't you? So why are you here?
'Cause...
You're the last person who should be in front of me right now.
Oh, I'm anxious. What about you? You promised to keep yourself safe, so why did you break your promise? Caleb, you're the one who owes me answers. Now it's not the time. Now it's not the time. I'd be like, good, he's here. Close the door and let him wait it out.
I can't give you an answer to every question.
I won't leave you here all by yourself. And you're wrong. I'm the only one who has every right to be here right now. Caleb struggles before me. His eyes reveal his pain, yet there's also a dangerous gleam. The chains on his wrist clatter to the ground. A dangerous aura surrounds Caleb. Help! He slowly approaches me, and the chains drag on the floor. I back away, but deep down, I know he would never hurt me.
Since you chose to enter this room, leaving is no longer an option.
Okay.
You moved. Where did all that courage go?
I don't know, sir. You have teeth.
You moved. Where did all that courage go?
I ate it. You're in pain right now, right? I don't know what you said. Why did you do that? I don't have it on auto. The words shouldn't be flying off my screen. Gotta find the activator. No, we'll drag, damn it. Ah! Hello? The necklace I gave you, you're still wearing it.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Eat it.
Initiating full body scan of the target.
Okay. What do you mean? What do I do? Oh. I'm not safe. I'm not safe. I'm not safe. I'm not safe. Bitch. Y'all were talking, but I couldn't see it.
Probing for something.
No, what? Caleb, you're the prey here. Can't see the word? Oh. Relax.
Am I a plaything to you?
A little bit. No, not again. Okay. Oh, God. The activator is behind his ear.
You approached me first. You walked right into my trap.
Okay.
Are you doing this out of pity?
No.
Then, when this night is over, will you stay with me?
As best I can. I assume I have to do that terribly to see the bad ending. Also, you said tap? I was meant to tap? I I was like fucking swiping. Because it was moving. Whatever. Caleb holds me tightly in his arms. I wrap my arms around his back and my hands slowly trace patterns on his spine. We stay like this for what feels like an eternity. Then, Caleb slightly loosens his grip and nuzzles my cheek.
I'm okay now.
They told me you were dead. Someone assassinated you. I saw blood in your apartment and thought it was yours. Hi,
They were
Foxy.
wrong. I promised to come back to you, didn't I? I won't go down without a fight.
I won't go down with this ship. Caleb gently opens my hand and presses it against his cheek. I don't believe that. I need to check it myself. Do you have any medicine here?
It's in the cabinet over there.
Everything about him is great. I love Caleb. I love how they made Caleb and how it works, his voice actor, all of it. I get up and retrieve the first aid kit. Then I sit down next to Caleb. Mind you, I was one of the people who wasn't really into his voice. It's not that it was bad. I just tend to like deeper voices. But the voice actor does a really good job of this kind of voice. And he makes it work really, really well. His body is marked with several bloody scabs from the chains. As I carefully remove them, I apply medicine to each wound. Don't neglect your injuries just because you're a predator.
You care about me, and that's more than enough.
An infection is an infection. Okay, take care of yourself. Caleb hasn't fully recovered. His head slightly droops to show his weakened state. As I finish treating his wounds, I get up to return the first aid kit to the cabinet. Caleb grabs my arms and I lose my balance. I tumble into his embrace. Oh, that's so cute.
There's so much I need to tell you.
Yeah. Caleb, I'm not going anywhere. I have all the time in the world.
Back then, I used to love being alone in this room.
Caleb holds me close as he lifts his head. He stares at the screens that line the wall, and his gaze lingers on them.
I always wondered what you were doing and what you were thinking. I questioned why you went to certain places, who you hung out with. And I was worried. If you ever found out how I kept an eye on everything you did for all those years, would you leave me without a second thought?
I would have many questions before I made a decision, but probably not. His gaze shifts back to me. The calm surface of his eyes fails to hide the tempest of emotions underneath. Wherever you want us to go, whatever you want us to do, I'll be there. No questions asked. I'm asking questions. So instead of watching me from afar, why don't you experience life by my side?
From now on, I'll be by your side every day.
Caleb's gaze softens. He buries his head in my shoulder as if he's seeking the certainty of warmth in my embrace.
I already dealt with the assassin who came after me this time. I'll track down all of his accomplices. It's not about sending a message, I won't let any of those insurgents slip through my fingers. And once we leave this room, I'll make your wish come true.
The home I want is the one where we're together. If you leave me behind again, I'll lock you up in here myself.
Do whatever you want with me.
Hello?
But let me rest in your arms. For now.
We stayed in that room for a long time, and together, Caleb and I wrote down the date in the notebook he used to track my movements. That entry might well be the last page. Eventually, everything dramatically changed as Caleb predicted. As the councilman, Caleb restructured the city's core leadership and implemented several measures to prevent and reduce predators' attacks on civilians. These initiatives became the talk of the town, and any doubts about his status as a predator disappeared like a passing breeze. And my wish finally came true.
Are you heading out early today?
Is this the same Can he leave us alone?
I saw your friend again. He's waiting for you outside.
Who is that guy? Go away.
It must be nice to have someone pick you up every day.
I think it's this hussy. Smiling, I say goodbye to my colleagues, grab my bag, and run down the stairs. It rained during the day, and so the night air is coated in the scent of dampened earth. Caleb is standing by the car. As soon as he sees me, he opens the door and gets in. I quickly follow suit. You got off work early, Mr. Councilman. I was planning to go home by myself.
We don't always have free time. Why don't we do something exciting this evening?
Like what? It sounds like you already have plans.
There's gonna be a movie tonight. Do you want to watch it with me?
I love movies! I thought it'd be more grand than that. It's just a movie, huh?
Yeah, a re-release. When it first came out, I still hadn't found you yet.
Why you talking like that? So you watched it alone back then?
Yep. And I thought it was a great film. At the time, I hoped I could watch it again with you. I've been holding on to this wish for so long. Won't you help me make it come true?
Stop talking to me like that. Caleb, it's not like I said no. As we stop at a red light, I gently pat Caleb's hand. In response, he takes mine and gently holds it. As we drive through the streets, I find myself once again surrounded by the familiar sights I passed by countless times before. Only when Caleb is by my side does this familiar path we use to go home feel like it leads somewhere. And I know that we'll walk down this path together side by side, always and forever. Xavier is the next one after this. I love him. He's so precious. I love that people have like favorites, because I have a favorite. My favorite is Silas. But like 100% they're just like, I would only date this one. I would only date this one. My personality is such that if any one of these men approached me in the right circumstances, they'd each get a chance. Like obviously not in line or whatever. But like generally speaking, if I met Xavier, I would consider dating Xavier. If I met Zane, I would, yes. If I met Caleb, yes. Like all of them are so well written. They're very like varied personalities. I 100%. Do whatever you want with me. I'm sorry, that was out of pocket. Was kind of the case. Okay, wait. Hold on. I can see it. I didn't see it the first time.
You approached me first. You walked right into my trap.
Should I let him bite me here? Okay, don't turn it off.
The path ahead is treacherous. So why don't we lose ourselves in each other?
As soon as Caleb's teeth sink into my neck, the world around me starts to blur. Shaking, I slump to the floor. The last thing I feel is Caleb's burning hot body against mine. His searing heat envelops me as my strength fades. My consciousness slips into a pitch black void. Ooh, we did. Oh, not dead. A sharp pain in my neck jolts me from my stupor. I come to my senses. I see the flickering light of a screen. Someone's arms are tightly wrapped around me. You have a hard life. Caleb. His head is lowered and his pupils have become unnaturally dark.
I want to say goodbye properly.
Caleb, what are you talking about? I try to lift my hand. I want to touch him, but my fingers betray me. They tremble uncontrollably. Caleb's burning hand envelops mine as he guides it to his cheek. He slightly turns his head and plants a soft kiss on my palm.
I'm afraid you'll blame me later because I didn't tell you anything.
Don't go. Desperate, I try to hold on to his hand, but it's as if he's slipping through my fingers no matter what I do. Slipping through my fingers.
I might be in a frenzy for a long time. Wait for me. When I recover, I'll return to you.
Don't. You can stay here, or you can let me come with you.
I can't. You'll be in danger.
It's fine. He pulls me closer and holds me tighter. I press myself against him. I try to commit every sensation, every breath of his to my memory. But Caleb's presence begins to disappear. I try to grab him, but my fingers only brush against the hem of his top. There is no hem. That's not a top. That's a strap.
Rest. When you wake up, it will all be over. As long as you're here, I'll find my way back to you.
Don't. Caleb, don't leave me. Please.
Wait for me.
All I can hear now is Caleb's heartbeat, and then it slowly fades into the distance. The door closes with a soft click. He's gone. The world around me becomes a pitch black void. I fall once more into the depths of unconsciousness. I bought your favorite birdseed again today. The tiny fledglings have grown up. They're now crowding around the edge of the nest. Each of them wants to be the first one to snatch the food from my hand. Calm down, you guys aren't starving. After distributing the food, I sit down on the rooftop. The early morning light is gentle. It filters through the clouds and mist to spread across the river below. In moments like these, I often imagine another presence. Perhaps that ghost of a companion is sitting close to me, or even embracing me. Caleb, where are you now? When will you come back to me? A gentle breeze ruffles my hair as I gaze at the sparkling river below. Just as I've done this countless times in the past, I will do it countless times in the future. Thank you for the follows. Yay! That was jarring. Okay, that's sad, but it's not like I'm gonna die sad. I didn't like it, but okay. It's like, here's diamonds. Aww. Okay. Stretch. Ugh. We good? We made it? I'm kind of hot. Oh, God. I got emotional. I can't do this. Okay, so I like Caleb's card, which is not surprising.